So, when you hear about the South Korean company Coupang, the first thing that probably comes to mind is the Amazon of Korea. But you know what? That nickname, it just doesn't do it justice. Not even close. This isn't just another story about e-commerce. It's a wild ride of gutsy pivots, absolutely massive bets, and one incredibly relentless founder. And this question right here, this is everything. This isn't just some catchy marketing slogan they cooked up. For the founder, Bom Kim, this was the entire mission. He was obsessed with building a company so essential, so woven into the fabric of your daily life, that you'd literally ask yourself this question.
And that really gets us to the heart of the matter, the central tension of this whole story. Is Coupang's insane dominance the result of one founder's singular, obsessive vision, or is it the product of a colossal, high-stakes gamble by one of the world's most aggressive and controversial investors? Let's dig in.
To really get a grip on the gamble, you first have to understand why calling Coupang the Amazon of Korea is such a massive understatement. It's so much more than just an online store.
I mean, just look at this. It's a complete ecosystem. You can order your groceries and have them show up in a few hours. You can get dinner delivered with Coupang Eats. You can chill out and stream a movie on Coupang Play, and you can pay for all of it with Coupang Pay. It's a universe that's managed to wrap itself around modern Korean life, creating this incredibly sticky platform that's almost impossible to leave.
But here's the really crazy part. This sprawling empire, it was never the original plan. Not at all. It all started with a totally different business model and a founder who was willing to light the whole thing on fire to chase a much bigger idea. So, let's meet Bom Kim. He's a Harvard dropout who saw the whole daily deals thing exploding with Groupon, and he headed back to Korea to launch his own version. He called it Coupon, a mix of coupon and pang, which is the Korean sound for a burst or a pop. And, at first, it was a smash hit. They were doing so well, in fact, that by 2013, they were just about to go public. But then Kim had this huge realization. He decided the daily deals model was, in his words, fundamentally flawed. Why? Because it just brought in people looking for a cheap deal, not loyal customers. It was a race to the bottom. So in a move that I can only describe as incredibly gutsy, he canceled the IPO just weeks before it was supposed to happen and completely changed direction. He realized that to create that "how did I ever live without you" feeling, he had to control the entire experience. And the biggest pain point for customers was always shipping. So he said, fine, we'll build our own. And that's how Rocket Delivery was born. An in-house army of couriers, these rocket men, who provided service that was just on another level. We're talking unbelievably fast, but also thoughtful, like leaving handwritten notes or making sure not to ring the doorbell if a baby might be sleeping. And this number, this just shows you the sheer scale of his ambition. It took a mind-boggling amount of money, but by 2018, 70% of the entire Korean population lived within 10 minutes of a Coupang logistics center. He had literally blanketed the country. But an empire like that needs fuel, a lot of fuel. And this is where our story takes a dramatic turn. This is where a new, incredibly powerful character enters the scene, Masayoshi Son and his unprecedented mega fund, SoftBank. To say the SoftBank Vision Fund was big is, well, it's a huge understatement. When it launched in 2017, we're talking about a $100 billion war chest. It's hard to even wrap your head around that number. It was bigger than any venture capital fund ever created, and it was designed to do one thing: pour absolutely staggering amounts of cash into tech companies. So where does that kind of money come from? Well, some of the biggest global players you can imagine. SoftBank itself put in a huge piece, but the single largest check came from Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, which committed a jaw-dropping $45 billion. This was capital on a global nation-state scale. And the man calling all the shots, Masayoshi Son, is an absolute legend in the investing world. He's famous for being a visionary gambler. I mean, this is the guy who made a fortune on an early bet on Alibaba, but also famously lost more money than anyone in history during the dot-com crash. He doesn't make small bets. He swings for the fences every single time. And that brings us to the core philosophy of the Vision Fund. This was a strategy so aggressive, it basically rewrote the rules of venture capital. Son's big idea was pretty simple, but it was also brutal. He believed that in the digital age, most markets are winner takes all. So his strategy was to find a company he thought could be that winner
and then just flood it with so much money that it could outspend, outbuild, and basically crush its competitors into dust. Capital wasn't just for growth, it was a weapon.
And Coupang? Oh, it was the perfect fit for this playbook. It was going for total domination in a major market. So SoftBank pumped a staggering $3 billion into the company, making it a key piece in a global portfolio of other huge bets like Uber, Didi, and yes, the one everyone remembers, WeWork. So what happens when you combine a founder's obsessive drive with an investor's fire hose of cash? Well, you get a company with some incredible strengths, but also some pretty serious risks. Let's look at the bull and bear case here. Okay, so the bull case, the argument for Coupang is that the strategy worked perfectly. All those billions let Coupang build a logistics network that's almost impossible for anyone else to copy. It's a massive competitive moat. Then you have their Rocket Wow subscription, which creates this powerful loyalty loop or flywheel that just keeps customers coming back. And now, after years of losing money, it's finally turning profitable, and new, high-margin businesses like advertising are really starting to take off. But the bear case, well, it points to the other side of that coin. Coupang is so dominant in Korea that there might not be much room left to grow. The market is getting saturated. Having that huge workforce also comes with constant regulatory and labor risks. And finally, the company's entire fortune is basically tied to the economy of a single country. That's a lot of eggs in one basket. So this all brings us right back to that central question, right? About these two powerful forces, the founder and the investor, that created the Coupang we see today.
Seriously, think about it. Does Coupang's incredible success prove that Masayoshi Son's capital as a weapon strategy is pure genius? Or, when you look at spectacular flameouts like WeWork, is Coupang just a lucky outlier, a company that succeeded because of its founder's flawless execution, maybe even in spite of the high-risk strategy that blew up elsewhere? In the end, it really might come down to the single-minded mission. SoftBank provided the rocket fuel, for sure, but the engine, the guidance system, that was always Bom Kim's obsession. And maybe the ultimate takeaway here is that no matter how much money you throw at a problem, real, lasting dominance isn't just bought. It has to be built, one obsessive customer experience at a time.